You know, being a successful stepfamily usually starts with being smart. Hi, I'm Ron Deal, President of Successful Stepfamilies, and I'm so pleased to be able to introduce you to our new book, The Smart Stepmom, Practical Steps to Help You Thrive. My co-author is Laura Petherbridge, and Laura, you're a divorce recovery expert, a speaker, and most importantly, a stepmother for over 2 decades.
Yep.
Now, do you wish somebody had handed you a book like this a long time ago?
Yeah, I wish somebody had given me a big neon sign before I got started. So yes, this is so practical and so wonderful that I really wish I'd have known the things that we're writing in this book about.
Now, when you and I started this project, we wanted to write a book that was real, that really spoke to where stepmoms live. There's no fluff in this book. This is not a pie-in-the-sky manuscript. In fact, we had one stepmom who read the manuscript who told us that this was encouragement without sugarcoating.
Yes.
Now, why is that important for stepmoms?
Well, it's important because today's stepmom feels very lonely. Mm-hmm. She feels very ostracized. Mm-hmm. She often feels alone in the journey. There's not much for her to read or look at that can tell her how to do this. Mm-hmm. She also feels a little bit deceived. She thought that this marriage was going to be one thing, and it often ends up being quite different than what she imagined it was going to be. And so the conflict with the children, with the other biological home, some issues she's having with her husband, maybe she's coping with some respect issues with her husband because it's just not flowing like she thought it was going to. Right. So that's why it needs to be very real, very honest, very transparent, and really giving her some practical answers for how am I supposed to survive this? And
it really is that. I mean, we really worked hard at that.
That's
and
right.
I'm so pleased about the book and how it turned out. You know, one of the things we talk about is dealing with your husband's ex-wife, if he has one.
Yes.
What we like to call the ex-wife-in-law for the stepmom. But we also talk about the stepmother who, with a biological mother, is deceased. And what are the uniquenesses that go into that? We talk about step money in here. We talk about the holidays and special days and what's the stepmother's role and place in that, and how does she deal with the extended family that comes into the picture, rituals and traditions. We talked some about partnering with your husband. Now, if dad is an engaged dad, boy, that really helps her out, right?
That sure does.
But if he's a disengaged dad, boy, that can put her in some difficult places.
That's probably one of the most common things that women stepmoms write to me is that, you know, my husband doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. He doesn't see how his children act when he's not around. Right. And so that's why I really was so thrilled that we put so many things in here that will give her some practical tips. Plus, we've got 2 chapters for the dad to read. Yes, we need him to read those 2 chapters. And so it's geared for them to read it together so that they can then be a parenting team.
That's right.
And it'll help him to open his eyes a little bit to some of the issues that he needs to address.
I think that's one of the most exciting parts of the book for a lot of stepmoms. You talk to my husband about how he can support me and understand what I'm going through.
Yes, absolutely.
We also put some discussion questions in the book because we wanted stepmoms to get together with other stepmoms.
Yeah, that is so strategic. I was shocked in my stepmom seminars at how often the women are saying, it's just so if I got nothing else out of this other than being with other stepmoms who are in the same situation, and I understand this is not just unique to me, other stepmoms feel the same way I do, that alone helps to relieve some of the pain. So we're really encouraging stepmothers to gather together with other stepmoms.
We want to break that isolation trap that a lot of stepmoms find themselves in. Find encouragement with other women. You know, Laura, one of the things we did is talked about some special topics in the book. We mentioned special days and holidays, but Mother's Day is a very unique holiday for a lot of stepmoms and very difficult for many.
It sure is. We spent a lot of time talking about Mother's Day, plus things like vacations, how to do vacations together, how to do Christmas, you know, any special occasion, graduation, weddings, those are all hot topics. Another thing that I'm so glad we addressed was the hours baby, whether to have a baby together, the couple, and add another new sibling to the mix. Boy, that's a huge issue.
And how that affects the marriage relationship and the current family, the current kids, yours, his, whatever.
Absolutely.
And then we have a whole chapter on adult stepfamilies. You know, being a stepmother of adult stepchildren is different than having minor age kids.
Absolutely.
And there's money issues, inheritance issues.
Yes, it often goes into, you know, the financial issue is huge when there's adult stepkids. So they're often wondering, you know, who's going to get what. And so we go around all of that. Very unique. It's different in a step family than it is a biological family. So I'm so glad we went to those areas because I think people are really going to be blessed by how practical they are.
The book, The Smart Stepmom, Practical Steps to Help You Thrive, is available in bookstores everywhere and at thesmartstepmom.com and at successfulstepfamilies.com. Guys, buy it for her.
And ladies, buy it for yourself and for a friend. They'll be glad you did. You know, I once thought that being the wicked stepmother was how I was going to end up, but you really can move from wicked to wonderful. It's a promise.